Tell me. I think last class you were not there. The other two students were there. Hey, you were there. You were not there. I had started with that World War II and had completed also, I think. Completed World War II and then Gandhism also. Please come. Suddenly. Did we complete World War II? I know that chapter. Where I have left. We were in the Rise of Dictatorship done, World War I done, Second World War done, Gandhian era we were doing. It is on Mahatma Gandhi and National Movement. What was the heading in that? I was explaining. Completed with the notes, or shall I give the notes? Other branches. What is the other branches? Who told you?
They don't. We are not doing experience.
Since now we have school exams have started. This is Mahatma Gandhi and Indian National Movement. So I think we have discussed the Khilafat movement. If you remember very clearly, what did I say about Khilafat movement? It was mainly due to the Caliph, correct? From which country he was? He was from Turkey. Who defeated the Ottoman Turks, the ruler of the Turkey? The Britishers have defeated, correct? During World War I, Britishers have defeated the Ottoman Turk. And this Caliph was known as the religious leader of leaders of Islam all over the world. So who did not continue? Britishers disrespected the Caliph. So which movement was started? So Khilafat movement. So only copy down these events. Khilafat movement was started all over the world. All over. In India, started by whom? In India, started by two brothers. Who were they? And Shaukat Ali. In India, started by Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali. So that's why they are called as which brothers? Ali brothers. Copy down up till here. They were popularly called as Ali brothers. So this is Khilafat movement. So you have to connect this using the points that I will give it. Let him go. And when Gandhiji came to know that two brothers are fighting against the injustice of the British, he gave a call that Ali brothers should join with INC. What was the issue? Muslims did not accept the membership of INC. So Gandhiji took this as an opportunity so that if we convince, what will happen? That Hindu and Muslim can together fight against the British. So when this unity came, this was known as which pact? The Lahore Pact or the Lucknow Pact. I'm so sorry, Lucknow Pact. Lucknow Pact has two importance. One, joining of Muslim into the INC, and the split which took place in Surat between whom and whom? Between the assertive and the early nationalists. Correct. So assertive and early nationalists. The split took place in which year? It was in 1907, which was in Surat. There was a split. Assertive left, the which nationalists? Early nationalists. So when we use the word Lucknow Pact, you have to understand two important things. What was the two important things? One, this assertive joining back into INC. Second, it is the Muslim community joining. So INC also ready to give some their demands. So INC said we will give you separate electorates. You understand separate electorates for whom? For the Muslims. So this is how we understand Lucknow Pact. Have you samjha? So after First World War, this was the incident which made the Muslims to join INC. We'll read one by one and explain. Okay. So there is the paragraph we start from Champaran Satyagraha. Do we have that in your syllabus? Do we have Champaran Satyagraha? No. Directly we start with non-cooperation?
Yes.
Okay. So Raja is reading non-cooperation. So keep a pencil in your hand. Wherever possible, we'll understand and we'll finish. Okay.
Non-cooperation movement.
Haan.
During the First World War, the communists cooperated with the British. Even Gandhiji urged the Gujarati peasants to join the army.
Gujarati peasants.
If they wanted to win Swaraj, but the event of 1919, like the 31st wrong passing of the Roland Act.
Oh my boy, Roland Act. You remember Roland Act? Last time I showed you the video of Jallianwala Bagh. Who was Roland? He was a law minister under the British government in India. He passed an act in which no gathering, no public rally, nobody can carry a weapon or anything. If at all they caught by the police in a gathering or in a mob, they will directly sentence him to 2 years of punishment. Will they are liable to go to a judge? They will not be taken to a trial. Samajh mein aaya? What?
And they will not
Give you a judge. Why do you need a judge? They will not give you a what do you call it? Judicial trial. Okay, fine. So that is Roland Act. Carry on.
and deny
Yeah.
and Bala Baj
What are you reading, my boy? Jina.
or
Jallianwala Bagh.
Jallianwala Bagh tragedy created this.
Today is in a very disturbed. Tragedy है, tragedy.
Yes, sir.
एग्जाम खत्म तो
अच्छा, इसका एग्जाम हो गया?
Yes, sir.
इसलिए
So it's not going to come in the board exam then?
It will come.
ठीक है. Let's test his reading now.
He turned from a cooperator to a non-cooperator and decided to start
Corporator है कि cooperator है?
cooperator.
तो corporator क्या बोल रहा है? Corporator और cooperator में बहुत difference है. Corporator means a counselor. You know who is a counselor? Carry on.
Started the non-cooperator movement.
Hmm.
The non-cooperator.
एक काम कर भाई, तू चुरा नहीं आज. You are making a mess of my good history. Shruti, you start.
Same as book.
एक काम करो ना, वो textbook ले लो. हाँ, it's okay. You give the textbook to her. You take her textbook. When was your last paper?
Yesterday.
What was it?
Geography.
How was it? Good means?
Means it was a little tough. That topography part was little tough.
Why topography part was a little tough? You didn't study?
I studied, but many things I didn't able to understand. Like it asked that what is the meaning of 3R in the topography.
3R means that measurement. What else?
I don't remember that question.
You should have brought the question paper. I could have discussed for you. Okay, show me in the break. You carry on through this. I'll discuss with you in the break. Where is that topo map?
Topo map.
Without topo map, how will you solve all this?
They have given, but after exam they have taken it.
क्या है तुम्हारा स्कूल इतना गरीब है? Carry on.
Non-cooperation is a way of protesting in which one does not cooperate with the evil doer. Gandhi asked the people not to.
Now look here, I'll tell you. What is cooperation? You cooperate with your parents. Do you? Fully? How about you?
Yes.
How much?
One question
मन से नहीं कर रहा है, क्यों? कौन? पापा? क्योंकि वो पढ़ाई में बोलते हैं कि कुछ भी कर दो. So government of India, which was in the hands of British, now Gandhiji is releasing a statement in which he is saying if you cooperate with the British, you are cooperating with an evil doer. Who is an evil doer? Who is not respecting you, who is not giving you anything for you, who is only putting taxes over you, who is exploiting you, who is treating you like whom? Slaves. Kya bola? You are treating the Indian citizen like vermins. You know what are vermins? Kide makode. And on the top you are cooperating over them. So if you stop your cooperation, the government cannot run for a long time. That is the meaning of which movement? Non-cooperation movement. I mean, the person who have understood what is non-cooperation may be a literate person. You know, literate. But the illiterate people, majority people do not understand what is non-cooperation. So it is Gandhi who is trying to, explain the cooperation to different sections of the population. नहीं पूरा chapter नहीं है, थोड़ा ही है. She's counting the pages now. Is it there for your exam? Causes? Beginning of the chapter. Wait, you will fall down. Careful girl. इधर जो डार्क शेड में दिया है ऊपर चेक करो. नहीं है, causes नहीं है. I know.
Causes है. इसमें दिया है, उसमें नहीं है. क्योंकि सिलेबस में नहीं है.
सिलेबस में नहीं है. Are you sure?
चेक करना पड़ेगा आपसे.
No, because जितना मैंने जहाँ भी non cooperation किया, nobody asked me the word causes. How many points are there in the causes? Check. Just tell me the heading, I can recollect.
That only.
वो तो मैं भी दे दूंगा खिलाफत. और next point is what?
Next objectives of the non-cooperation movement.
Objectives है ना? You read objectives. That is better.
At a special session of the Congress held at Kolkata in September 1998, a special resolution was adopted expecting non-cooperation movement as the only option left open for the people of India. The regular session of the Congress at Nagpur in December 1928.
Underline that. Nagpur session 1920. They passed out a resolution demanding what? That we are going to introduce non-cooperation movement. Okay.
The non-cooperation movement sought to be achieve the following objectives. First, to attain self-government within the British Empire. If possible.
Underline the word self-government. If I want to explain the word self-government, that we will rule ourselves. Do you accept that? अभी हम लोग इंडियन गवर्नमेंट से पूछ सकते हैं सेल्फ गवर्नमेंट क्यों पूछेगा तू फॉरेनर थोड़ी है so it is our own government but somebody else is ruling over you then you will ask because you do not belong to India you don't understand then why don't you give us which government सेल्फ गवर्न हम लोग अपना खुद का करेंगे भाई तू बस लीडर बन के बैठ हमारे पर राज मत चल करेक्ट लेट्स प्रोसीड
Endowment of Knowledge Act and
remittances am I correct now this Rowlatt Act was one thing which you and me have to understand in detail I mean if I say Rowlatt Act the direct result was Jallianwala Bagh. The video has been shown and I have time and again explained. It was a peaceful protest of the farmers. And they were celebrating the festival called Baishakhi, which we celebrate in Maharashtra. And there were two leaders who were arrested. Who are they? Check karo, notes mein diya hai. Satyapal Kichlu. Jallianwala Bagh diya मैंने. Rowlatt Act में नहीं दिया है ये खिलाफत मूवमेंट तो काम करो पहले खिलाफत मूवमेंट लिखो these are very हाँ भी मैं देता हूँ चलो that's good give me that textbook हाँ notes are very important अभी notes ही ज़्यादा देता हूँ फिर since you have come fresh from the exam है ना बोर्ड एग्जाम को तो चाहिए ना Lucknow Pact. Sorry, Khilafat movement, Lucknow Pact. During the First World War, British defeated. During the First World War, British defeated the Ottoman Turk. And it is written here, Ottoman Turk hyphen the ruler of Turkey. Ottoman Turk, the ruler of Turkey. Second point. The Sultan of Turkey hyphen Caliph CALIPH. Did I write? Put it into single and will come like this. Caliph was deprived of all authority. Deprived was removed. Now what is this? Of all authority. RIPA. Deprived of all authority, which was not liked by. Islam community all around the world. Which was not liked by the Islam community all around the world. Full stop. In India, see what next point I said. It was Ali brothers hyphen, you write their full name. Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali. Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali continued the struggle or continued the movement against the British policy. The Khilafat Committee in India. The Khilafat Committee in India demanded. The Khilafat Committee in India demanded a 3-point program. A 3-point program. Khilafat Committee in India demanded a 3-point program. Let's write 1, 2, and 3. The Ottoman Caliph should retain his empire. First point. The Ottoman Caliph the Ottoman Caliph must retain his empire. What is retain? Given back. Second, the Caliph must be given. The Caliph must be given sufficient territory. The Caliph must be given sufficient territory to enable him to defend the Islamic faith. Enable him to defend the Islamic faith. Third, the Arab lands. The Arab lands. Inside the bracket, which are the country, Arab lands? Arabia, Syria, Iraq, and Palestine. You know Palestine today? Arabia, Syria, Iraq, and Palestine, close the bracket, must remain under the Muslim rule. Must remain under the Muslim rule. I can take a pause now. Let's both of you read 1, 2, 3 for me. 1, come on. 1, the demands.
The Ottoman Caliph must.
Oh boy, Ottoman Caliph किधर है? Ottoman.
Yes. Ottoman Caliph must retain his empire. The Caliph must be given sufficient territory to enable him to defend the Islamic faith. The Arab lands, Arabia, Syria, Iraq, and Palestine must remain under the Muslim rule.
Yes, you. Same point. 1, 2, 3. Read it.
The Ottoman Caliph must retain his empire. The Caliph must give sufficient territories to him to defeat Islamic.
Defeat.
To defend.
Oh, exact opposite है. Defeat and defend.
Defend Islamic faith. The Arab lands, Arabia,
Let us read.
Syria.
Syria.
Syria,
Iraq. आज क्या हो गया दोनों को?
इराक के बाद जो है वो नहीं आता.
क्यों नहीं आता? What's the same spelling? Palestine है, my dear girl. What's it? Why these demands are very important? It is all pertaining to the Ottoman Caliph. Where was he? He was in Turkey, and these people were in India. But whatever it was, whatever might be, who has made all these policies? British. Were the British ruling in India? Yes. So there's not only Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali, there were other leaders, but these were two popular leaders. They tried to put pressure on whom? British government. Do you think if they put British government in India pressure, they will listen in London? They may listen, they may not listen. But as an agitator, I am protesting. But if they could have joined hands with whom? Ali brothers. Gandhiji. Under which banner? Now, under which banner Gandhiji is there? INC. Don't you think International Congress is very big? Yes. So can they put more pressure on the British? Yes. Instead you two fighting alone, you join with your family, friends, relatives. Then you go and bang your school. Will your school listen? Yeah, they must listen. कभी ये जाके अलग से बोलता है, ये जाके अलग से बोलता है, हाँ ठीक है जाओ कर जाओ. Nobody will listen. But then it was Gandhiji's viewpoint. What was the viewpoint? That your fight is correct. I am ready to support you. But you join my party. What was that party? Indian National Congress. Samjha? So that is Khilafat movement bringing the Muslims closer to the INC. Change the para. Oh my God. I got afraid. Suddenly I had to. बोल दे मेरे रख दे तेरा ही है. Change the para. Same. In India, October 17, 1919. If you don't remember 17, you write only October. October 17, 1919 was organized as Khilafat Day, or organized नहीं तो observed as Khilafat Day on an all India basis, on an all India scale. Was organized as Khilafat Day, on an all India basis. Next point. Mahatma Gandhi elected the president of All India Conference in November 1919. MG Gandhi लिखो पूरा लिखने की जरूरत है. Mahatma Gandhi adopted the elected the president of Khilafat movement, All India Khilafat Conference, and advised they should merge with Congress. And they should merge with Congress for a nationwide agitation. Merge with Congress for a nationwide agitation. Nationwide agitation. Nationwide agitation. बस एक लास्ट पॉइंट लिख दें. In 1921, this committee, मतलब Khilafat committee, appealed to all the Muslims not to join the police and armed forces. Not to join the police and the armed forces and to and not to pay taxes. Underline not to pay taxes. That's it. Khilafat movement is done. Now read through and tell me where you need my help or explanation. Done? Pakka? So let us write the objectives of INC now. You put the heading, sorry, not INC, non-cooperation movement. When was it launched? First I given, then we'll do. Hey, you just cross-check in your mobile maybe. Is it objectives are there or causes are there? Because I am very sure causes are not there. But फिर भी एक बार double check करो. Why? Well, you don't use it. So why? Why, man? Till 9? So you don't have mobile at home also. Pakka? Good. Be away from this evil element. Let him check. Is only objective there or objectives and both are there? तो उसको दे दे. She'll find out. ऐसा कुछ नहीं. So I don't remember explaining causes anyway.
So you can take this.
What does that say? Tell me, Raja. Okay.
CIAC.com.
CIAC.
CISC. C पहले होगा उसके बाद ICSC.
Correct.
हाँ.
That's it. It is it. That is not the key.
So, or you can search class 10 syllabus ICSC.
History syllabus is there. Here we have. It goes to Thailand.
That's why.
Thailand only.
Thailand तो कैसे?
Ayurveda है.
इसमें भी वही.
You see this.
We are in महात्मा गांधी ना खिलाफत मूवमेंट रोला टाइप चले मतलब ये सब है चौरी चौरा है स्पीड स्टूडेंट्स है and देखो there is no causes and there is no this one also objectives भी नहीं so we have to do खिलाफत मूवमेंट रोला टाइप चले मतलब बस plus
है
then फिर क्या है civil disobedience है causes से वो अलग है उसको ऐसे ही रहने दें so let us write the next one Jallianwala Bagh पहला रॉल अटैक लिखो I'm sorry first रॉल अटैक then it leads to the Jallianwala Bagh massacre रॉल अटैक because those people textbook में इतना बड़ा बड़ा खींच के रखा लाइन और बोलते ये नहीं है वो नहीं है रॉल अटैक Justice Rowlatt introduced two separate bills in the central legislature. Justice Rowlatt introduced two separate bills in the central legislature in February 1919. In Feb 1919, underline Justice Rowlatt. Now look at it. If you want, once again I'll explain. Now this Rowlatt has analyzed the problem with the Indians to the British are becoming more headache. Have you heard about the sedition? Sedition. You are doing grave mistakes against your country. हिंदी में बोलता है ना धोखाधड़ी. तो धोखाधड़ी किसके खिलाफ कर रहा है? नेशन के खिलाफ. But those days who was ruling India? So British is saying that you are doing sedition against India. What does it mean? That you are planning to uproot the British out of India. Were they correct? Who? I'm asking, were the people correct? Who are wrong? Britishers were wrong. But Britishers thinking we are the original rulers here. He was a law minister. He was a justice also, judge. So he introduced two separate bills. And since it was initiated by Sir J. Rowlatt, it was known as Rowlatt Act. Have you समझा? I think I don't know, but J. Rowlatt बोला जाता है उसका. I don't know exactly. If you want, I can. Shall we? No. Time waste. Second point. जानना भी है और time waste भी है तो फिर how will I? The main reason of this bill was to control. The main reason of this bill was to control the upsurge. What is upsurge? The people who are fighting against. Okay. Control. This is the word. The upsurge. What are you saying? Acha. Upsurge within the country against the British administration. Within the country against the British government. Next point. Despite all opposition from the Indians, come on. The act was passed in March 1919. The act was passed in the March 1919. Underline passed, underline March 1919. With following implications. With following implications. Hyphen, you write 1. First, arrest of a person without a warrant. You understand? Without a warrant means arrest of a person. What is a warrant? हाँ मतलब जब तक वो वारंट नहीं निकलेगा you cannot be arrested without a warrant. Second, no judicial trial. No judicial trial. No judicial trial. 3, restriction on the movement of. Restrictions on the movement of individuals. Four, suspension of the right of habeas corpus. Suspension of the right of, not right, it is a writ, is it? Let me see, check. They have not written writ, it is a filing. Right of habeas corpus. I'll tell you. We have 5 writs. In civics, did I explain? In 9th standard, you might have heard. One is habeas corpus, mandamus, quo warranto, certiorari, and prohibition. अभी habeas का simple meaning है hand over the person to me. If police catches one of you and puts in the jail without any proper warrant or without producing to the judge, the relatives of that person can file this right. इसको writ बोलते हैं, writ. अभी भी है इंडिया में ये writ अगर judge सुनेगा, if he understood that he or she has been caught, but they are not produced in front of the judge, then police may be putting a case over the police itself. Judge may put a case. ऐसा क्यों किया तुमने? क्या reason था? Reason बाद में. First, where is the person? Is he inside the jail? Did you kill him? Is he alive? ये सारा जज पूछने का पूरा आता है, and police को बोलना ही पड़ेगा. If the police is not going to give any proper evidence, then police might be punished by the judge. Of late, there was a movie of Mr. Surya, a Tamil fellow, Jai Bhim. Suna? That movie, entire movie is on this only, habeas corpus. So first, arrest of a person without a. If he is arrested, there should be judicial trial, but no trial. Restriction on the movement. You cannot move out of your house. No 4-person gather. You can't discuss for some more than 15-20 minutes. No public rallies, no gatherings. Indirectly, they are putting the movement of the people घर के अंदर ही रहो. Why they are doing all this under this act? What was becoming more stronger? The nationalist movement were becoming more stronger. अभी समझा what is the Rowlatt Act? So write the new point or a new para. ये तो 0.45 का है ना? The next point you write, not this point, the main point. So any person can be arrested. Any person can be imprisoned without a trial and can be put in jail for next 2 years and can be sent in a jail or put in a jail for next 2 years. Okay, so this is Rowlatt Act. Then next point again. This act become a sudden blow. Became a sudden blow, B-L-O-W, to all the Indians who were asking self-governance. Who were asking self-governance. Self-governance. Underline sudden blow. Now for long time Indians now understood that we are united. We can fight against the British. We can conduct a rally. We can discuss. अबे suddenly बोला rally तो दूर no 4% can also stand for that. अबे there were not mobile phone and WhatsApp. चल गांधी जी ने बोला हम लोग एक नया ग्रुप बनाएंगे. कौन सा ग्रुप है? WhatsApp ग्रुप. चल आ जा. गांधी जी घर बैठे बैठे थोड़ी सब टेक्स्ट कर रहे है ना. नेहरू बोलेगा ठीक है मैं इंस्टाग्राम पे जाता हूँ. यू डोंट वरी. हाँ यू डोंट वरी मेरा इंस्टाग्राम का बुक है. फिर सरदार बोलेगा मेरा तो फेसबुक अकाउंट है. सब लोग बैठ के डील करें. There was nothing. They have to come open. They have to discuss. And now here the government has put all restriction. And they can also write messages and send somewhere. हाँ ये पेपर जाके उधर बांटो उधर. किधर कैसे करेंगे? Correct. So Britishers have cut off everything. With which act? And that Jallianwala Bagh massacre, if you remember how badly they killed the people, whoever heard this incident, अभी बहुत लोगों ने तो वीडियो में तो नहीं देखा रहेगा. वीडियो तो वैसा किसी ने लिया भी नहीं. अगर लिया रहेगा तो भी सर्कुलेट भी नहीं हुआ रहेगा. Correct. People might have heard that thousands of people were, killed by the British officer. Who was that officer? General Dyer. D-Y-R-E. So people were very much panicky. अब अगर हम लोग घर से निकलेगा तो भी what will happen? That we will also be punished. Just 1 minute. Okay, no problem. You already.
The climate in the location feature soil the climate.
What I was saying. So this Jallianwala Bagh has created so much terror in the minds of the people. Even if someone like राजा थोड़ा सा डरा हुआ लगता है मुझे हमेशा लेक्चर में. राजा बोलते नहीं सर आज मैं कंट्री के लिए कुछ करूंगा. तुरंत वो बोलते हैं कल सुना क्या हुआ? क्या हुआ? जलियांवाला बाग में सबको मार के उन्होंने मार दिया. ऐसा है क्या? सर फिर मैं नहीं आ रहा हूँ सर घर पे मेरा तबीयत खराब है. बोले क्या हो गया राजा? नहीं सर वो पेट में गड़बड़ है सर. He is afraid. But till that Jallianwala Bagh incident happened, many people were हाँ हम करेंगे देश के लिए जान देंगे. शायद ये निकल भी जा रहा है. उसका मम्मी बोले बेटा आपने कल न्यूज़ सुने क्या? मम्मी क्या हो गया? कल वो गन फायर. ठीक है मम्मी घर पे रह के भी हम काम कर सकते हैं ना क्यों बाहर जाने का. Means all of a sudden the people become panicky. And if you remember that General Dyer was in front of that commission and how stubbornly he was answering. Do you have any guilt of killing all this? No, I don't have any guilt. Because even if you do a small mistake or a big mistake, we always have the pain in the heart. But that fellow killing more than 1,000 people, he did not have a single remorse feeling. What is remorse? Unhappiness. So we always believe only one thing, that this Rowlatt Act was to curb the movement and Jallianwala Bagh was on the top to show the people. If you disrespect which act? That Rowlatt Act, look at the example. Do I not always connect you with the war between Russia and Ukraine, the present war? What was the main reason Vladimir Putin attacked Ukraine? Ukraine was joining the NATO group with America. And Ukraine and Russia like India and Pakistan, very close boundary, same boundary in fact. They say many Russians are there in Ukraine and many Ukrainians are there in Russia. And for last 2 years, Russian leader was asking Ukraine not to join NATO. Because NATO is a powerful military organization which is headed by America. If at all Ukraine enters NATO, American forces will come on the borders of whom? Russia. And you know what is a good relation between America and Russia? They are never one. Russia was warning Ukraine not to get into the treaty. But Ukraine said, "तू क्या करेगा? मैं अमेरिका के साथ घुस जाएगा ना, पूरा अमेरिका यूरोप आएगा। किधर आया? कौन आया? Nobody came." अभी Raza wants to fight with any other fellow. Instead of convincing him, "Don't worry, man. You should not fight. You maintain your country." I'm saying, "Don't worry. You go and hit him." He says, "Sir, I don't have the power." "Don't worry, I am there." The fight start होगा, मैं पीछे खड़ा. क्या चाहिए तुझे? weapon चाहिए, जा मार. That's what happened to the Ukrainians. Americans did not fight for Ukraine. Ukraine only was fighting. And whenever America and groups thought कि इसके पास weapons ने weapons दे रहा, weapons देके करेगा क्या? Ultimately, whose citizens are dying? How many Russians died? Maybe some soldiers died. Soldiers died. वो तो war में होगा. But citizens कौन मरा? I can show you the actual pictures of Ukraine now. It's वो country को देख के ऐसा लगता है कि गरीब हो गया. अभी कितना साल लगेगा to reconstruct that? अभी कितना वो लोन लेगा? Russia has already divided the country into 3 parts. और वो 3 पार्ट को उसने इंडिपेंडेंट भी छोड़ दिया. ये बेचारा भी जेलेंस्की बैठा है. क्या करेगा ना? Nothing he can do. So ये इंसिडेंट में इतना डिटेल में इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ ना. Russia has warned all the non-European countries who are European countries who want to enter into NATO. अभी अगर किसी कंट्री का इंटरेस्ट भी आया, so what Russia will say? Look at the pictures of Ukraine. Are you understanding what I'm saying? If you enter into NATO without my permission, then don't worry. I am ready to give the same bloody nose that I've given to Ukraine. So don't you think the European people will be very much fearful? On the top, it has warned America also. Look, double sword, yes. Don't try to enter into European countries now. जितना तूने NATO पकड़ा, इसके आगे तू कोई भी छोटा मोटा कंट्री को मेरे खिलाफ अगर खड़ा करेगा, what will happen? I am there to hit you. Are you understanding? So Russia has made it very clear. So similarly, when Rowlatt Act was passed, actually Dyer was a not regular officer. He was a commissioned fellow. You know, commissioned who's even के लिए उसको बुलाया गया. The regular officer said, "Sorry sir, मैं ये काम नहीं कर सकता." उसने ठीक है, you get up, you die. And Dyer was a military fellow. He was not from police. Did he give any warning? Did you see? No. He opened fire without any warning. And that was the tragedy. Immediately, so many people died, and it was martial law. What is martial law? Section 144. What is section 144? ये जो अभी कोविड के टाइम लगा था, मालूम है, घर से बाहर निकलने का नहीं, ये नहीं, वो नहीं, वो तो चलो मेडिकल की वजह से लगा. Section 144 means you are not allowed to go anywhere. अभी there were thousands of people who were injured. अभी उनको hospitals कैसे लेके जाएंगे? No ambulances, nothing. So this Rowlatt Act was a root cause for which massacre? Jallianwala Bagh massacre. समझा? So first came Rowlatt Act. Second, the problem was Jallianwala. Okay, let's complete that. Are we? Acha, 4 minutes are there. So we'll complete this Rowlatt Act. Which was the last point that I've given to you?
It came a sudden blow to the Indians who were
Expecting self-governance. Okay. This act also came as a brutal measure. Brutal. You understand brutal? Strict. Brutal measure to all Indians who are against the British rule in India. were against the British rule in India. That's it. Roller act is done. Again reading it, again coming back, and then we'll write Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Hey boy, want to see Jallianwala Bagh? Why?
You are absolutely
I'm showing you. We got 3 minutes to go.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
see before when.
So you got it.
Yes, please.
You want me to pronounce and show it to you? Okay, good. Justice Sidney Rollins. That's a full name. Oh, good, good. She always accepts me and gives me a challenge. Huh? Last time हम लोग किस challenge में था? Good, 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 good girl. उसने कहाँ से निकाला ये? नाम क्या है उसका? सिडनी. ठीक है मैं बोलेगा नहीं. क्योंकि सिडनी क्या पूरा नाम क्या? सर सिडनी.
Justice Sidney Rollins.
हाँ. Don't forget this. ये क्या है? ये क्या है? Golden Temple. This is in Amritsar.
England is so powerful. Its army and its navy, all its modern weapons. But when a great power like that strikes the faceless people, it shows its brutality, its own weakness, especially when those people do not strike back.
The entire lanes are very narrow. People cannot come and go very quickly. अभी हम लोग का ऑफिस से निकल रहा है and they get into that Jallianwala Bagh. And this is the place.
And that is why Allah begs us to take a course of non-violence.
So the movie has a break now. Okay, after 5 minutes. Want to see? After 5 minutes. Okay? Because it's a 7-minute video. I will. Okay?